second down, they go right back to Cook.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Cousins.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Throwing, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings!
Dalvin Cook,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now a play fake here on first down.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a second time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his second first-quarter touchdown there.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Cousins now. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Touchdown. Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it second down and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Back to throw again. He dumps it off to Barkley.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps him advancing the ball.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Barkley will take it in for the Giants touchdown.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
On the move past the 40. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, Cousins sliding out of the pocket. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Cousins to throw it. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen.
Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how are you planning to move the ball against his defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay.
And he will have a Giants first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Barkley.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
They'll look to throw again. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Well, they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Back to throw now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he rifles one incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. And between the last two plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Cousins gets this one out wide quickly.
And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Third quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner. You tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song when the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
64 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Cook again. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
They'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Cook up the gut. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking for Shepard deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Try it here. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And his kick is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Back to throw again. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. On second down, it's Cook again.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Cousins. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning.
Get it!
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Let's go now.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Here we go. Start.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Minnesota, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.